First, my name is Doug Schepman. Last name is spelled S-C-H-E-P-M-A-N, and I'm a spokesperson for the Denver Police Department. I'll just kind of run through the chronology of the incident that we had here in the 200 block of South Kenosha Court. Just after 3 o'clock today, U.S. Marshals were, with the assistance of a federal task force, were attempting to contact a man who was wanted on a federal arrest warrant for a probation violation. While attempting to contact that man who was a passenger in a vehicle, at least one member of that task force fired shots into the vehicle, striking the man as well as a female driver of the vehicle. Both the man and the woman were transported to the hospital in critical condition. No law enforcement agents were injured during this incident, and no Denver police officers were involved in this incident. Denver police will be leading the investigation into this incident because it did occur in Denver. At this time, we are working to process the scene, gather witness statements from the agents who were involved to figure out exactly what happened here. But at this time, I don't have any information or context to share with you as far as what precipitated the agent or agents to fire their guns.
Was there any kind of an exchange of gunfire?
At this time, we're still looking into whether or not there was an exchange of gunfire.
Is there anybody else in the car, or just the two people in the front seats?
To my knowledge, just the two individuals were in the vehicle.
Do you know if there's any children involved? We've seen some kids walking around with officers. Didn't know if they lived there or happened to be close by when this happened.
It's unclear to me whether or not any other individuals were involved other than the male who was a wanted party and the female who was driving the vehicle.
Only one agent fired shots, or one?
So at least one, so that'll be part of our investigation, is to determine whether there was more than one member of that federal task force who fired shots in this incident.
Do we know how many shots were fired?
I don't know at this time how many shots are fired. That'll be one of the things that we'll learn through the course of the investigation and processing the scene.
Forgive me if you already said this. Is this a residence that's relevant, or just the car happened to be on this street?
So it was a vehicle stop that occurred in the 200 block of South Kenosha Court.
But this is the area where the U.S. Marshals were originally, correct? This particular neighborhood?
They were attempting to contact a wanted party who was in a vehicle, and they were in a vehicle in the 200 block of South Kenosha Court when they attempted to contact them.
Was it kind of a traffic stop type thing by the federal agents, or was that car just parked there?
That's one of the things that we'll also need to learn. Again, since Denver police weren't involved in this, we are going to have to. We don't have as much preliminary information as we might if this were an incident involving our officers.
I understand there was a baby being held by an officer on the scene. Were there children nearby?
I don't have any context as to whether there were bystanders when this incident occurred. I'm sorry.
You know what the man's wanted for? What's the warrant?
Yes, it was a federal arrest warrant for a probation violation. That was the reason they were attempting to contact him.
Was there any weapon recovered in that car in the suspect's vehicle?
That would be one of the things that we'll learn through processing the scene, whether or not there was a weapon in the vehicle.
Was there a preliminary pursuit at all?
Who makes up the task force?
And it's a task force that's led by a federal agency, so I don't have the breakdown of what all members, what all federal agencies are represented on that task force.
I know it was
they were assisting the U.S. Marshals in trying to execute this arrest warrant.
And it was a probation violation, but you know more on why he was originally behind bars in his criminal history?
I don't, because it was a federal operation. I don't have information on hand about that background information. Why the individuals on probation and so forth.
Do you know if the woman had a criminal record?
That I do not know at this time. Obviously we'll work to identify who she is, and that would be part of the investigation.
Can you describe the vehicle they were in?
I honestly didn't make a note of the make and model of the vehicle. I'm sorry.
Any idea how long the scene will be up and everything out here?
I anticipate that the street will be blocked off for hours as we process the scene. So we encourage anyone who lives kind of around this 200 block of South Kenosha Court to anticipate delays, especially in that block. If anyone needs to get in to that block to their homes, they can ask officers for assistance.
Doug, I don't know if you can comment on this. I mean, we've talked about so many officer-involved shootings lately and how much is on the mind. I know this wasn't involving DPD, but yet another one today, and kind of how's that impacting officers even in the department?
I know it sounds cliche, but these are the calls that you never want to hear, where officers are out on an incident and shots are fired. as a civilian myself, I can't speak for officers, but I know that they're really good about, you know, keeping a focus on the job that they've signed up to do.
How often do you see a task force getting involved to make an arrest of somebody that's wanted on a probation violation?
Yeah, and that would be something that the U.S. Marshals would have to be able to speak to. I'm sure how, you know, how they handle their processes for trying to execute warrants. So.
Doug, do we know yet if these are Colorado residents, U.S. residents?
You don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. You know, where the two individuals who were shot in this incident, where they were from. You know, obviously we're going to.
Doug, there's some question about immigration.
Oh, so we have heard that, you know, there's a little bit of talk in the neighborhood that, you know, whether or not, because federal agents were involved here, whether or not this was an immigration-related issue, and this was not an immigration-related issue. This was not any kind of, you know, ICE operation or anything like that.
What agencies are all on scene now?
Well, it was the U.S. Marshals and the task force that was assisting them. Again, I don't know the makeup of that task force at this time. We'll be working to get statements from the members of that task force who are on scene here. And obviously there's going to be a large Denver police presence here as we're leading the investigation.
You said transport and critical, both?
Correct.
People?
Who's going to do this investigation? Yeah, Denver Police Force.
So we'll follow our normal officer-involved shooting protocol. Again, even though Denver officers were not involved in this, so that protocol will also involve the Aurora Police Department and the District Attorney's Office.
Do you know when you'll anticipate releasing names for those who were shot?
Yeah, I don't know at this time. I don't have a timeline for when their identities would be released.
Can you make it before the 5 o'clock?
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks. So that's the extent of the information that we have at this stage in the investigation. If we have any additional updates, we'll make sure to put them out either via social media or by press release.